Hello and welcome back to the Curios Cast, another episode of Weird News, this time a football special. Football, soccer, the great game.
Football, fucking football.
Crazy football, man. We love it.
Love it. I mean, for once, once every 2 years, I have a fleeting enjoyment of football.
Yeah, whenever the internationals on, everyone gets involved, right?
Yeah, I think it's more. It kind of makes sense to me that why you're actually following them. Otherwise, it seems kind of arbitrary for most people. Yeah. And they're not really. If you're following West Ham, you're actually following a bunch of people that have been bought and paid for ridiculous salaries from all over the world.
Yeah, it is just a company, basically.
Yeah,
yeah. It comes from good, there's a lot of history behind it, and it used to be you'd support your local team, and it made sense, because they were all people from your area. So you were supporting Gary down the road who plays for West Ham. It wasn't some guy from wherever in the country or the world. It was an actual local team with local rivalries, and we're the best in the county or the country. And now it is purely just it is a company that just happens to have its headquarters down the road.
Yeah. Who's got the most money?
Yeah. There is something we do need to address.
The
elephant sharp
not
ones
in the
amongst
room.
you. Yeah, the elephant not in the room. This is just a two-man episode today.
Wow.
George is not with us. It's quite unfortunate. He has had to be rushed off to have an operation. It's actually quite sad. I'm breaking up a bit. Sometimes what can happen, you might have heard of it before, when your dick gets too small. It can sometimes go inside you. It goes like a reverse penis. And it's don't laugh, because it's actually it could be quite dangerous sometimes, because if he gets a boner and it actually goes inwards, and it can poke around with all sorts in there, and
but it wouldn't matter if it's really small, so it's not going far, is it?
It goes so small that it starts getting big, but on the inside. This is what George said earlier. I don't know. We were meant to record, and he sent us a voice message. He said, "Boys, I've got a small dick. You've always known that." And we're like, "Yep. That's why we call you Small Dick George." And he said, "Well, it's been getting smaller the last couple of weeks, and I was getting worried, but I just thought, hey, that's what happens with old age." And but he sent us a photo. It was pretty grim. And it's gone inside.
Had to zoom in a lot, didn't we? Obviously.
Yeah. It's like I don't know. When you squeeze a really big spot and there's a tiny little hole left in your skin. It's a bit like that. But so he can't be with us this week. Who knows if he'll make it next week or not? It sounds like quite a serious operation.
Yeah. Well, we wish you well, George. Yeah.
Yeah. They're actually gonna have to the way they get it out is they use suction. So it's like a little sucky cup, what you stick on windows and that, and they sort of just try and yank it back out, but it can be quite dangerous because they don't want to yank it too far and pull out something they shouldn't. So,
rest up, George.
Send him your best wishes.
Yeah, send George your best. No jokes or no small penis jokes or anything like that. Obviously, wouldn't be appreciated.
Yeah, just give him a little message on Instagram when you hear this. His Instagram's on the Curios Cast Instagram page. So just give him a little private message and just say, I'm thinking of you. I hope the operation goes okay. He'll be laying there in hospital in the Netherlands. They got good care out there, hopefully. But
enough about George's.
George loves football, so we're getting this episode's dedicated to him.
Yeah. and it's got a bit of a history vibe as well. Well, my one has anyway. I don't know about yours.
No, not at all. Well, I mean, it happened in the past, but so did everything. So,
and so did, as you know, England winning the Euros.
That final yesterday. Oh, what a game! Yeah. I can't believe we just smashed them like that in the way we did.
I know, the balls went like in the goals and everything.
Mental.
Like, and that guy used his foot.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
It was. I wasn't expecting that.
It does make me laugh with the commentators sometimes when they say the most like obvious things. Like, it's like, why are you getting paid for this? Like, one of them yesterday, it was kind of half like, yeah, England could really do with scoring a goal right now. Yeah, they really need that.
Yeah.
Like, well, of course. Like, that's the entire objective of the game.
Yeah.
Yes, they could really do with making one more point than the other team, thus making them in the lead of the other team. Yes, I agree.
Yeah. Or at the moment, Denmark have scored one and so have England. So at the moment, it's a tie.
Yeah.
Anything to comment on that, Rob?
I imagine there's like a compilation of commentators saying stupid things. There has to be, doesn't there?
There's a compilation of Michael Owen saying really obvious, just dead boring things like that.
I think
it'll be like ridiculous things like, oh, the ball was. If it went in there, they would have had a goal. Like ridiculous shit.
Well, my mum always used to say, my dad always likes watching Sports Personality of the Year. So my mum would always say, like, it's the most ironic title of any sort of thing because they generally have no personality. I guess that's one of the ones that have a bit of a personality, end up doing really well and being pundits and that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because the vast majority of them, like, it probably comes with just being so focused on one thing.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it's a stereotype. I think, like, sometimes, you know, they interview a player after a game. And, you know, say you do the same thing week in, week out, and at the end of the day, some guy's like, oh, what did you think of that game? And, like, you're just like, oh, yeah, we didn't do that well. We probably should have scored more. Like, do you think you could have played a bit better? It's like, well, yeah, obviously. Like, it's like when you get home from work and nothing that interesting has happened. It's just a normal day. And, like, you know, whoever you live with says, oh, how was work? Fine.
Yeah.
Like, but imagine you had
nothing to report
because it's in their contract. Like, imagine you had to go and talk, answer 10 questions about how your day was at work and how you could have done better. And it's like, oh yeah, we have to go back to a drawing board on that one. I need to think about, you know, what we're gonna do. But you have to stay really like down the middle of the line. You can't be like, yep, oh, you know, Jeff was shit. He needs to sort it out. We're ribbing him in the changing room. We're gonna, you know, we're gonna hide his trousers after this. Yeah, like you can't do it.
That's true. Fucking one of my mates is talking about spending $9,000 on 2 tickets.
Shit in hell.
That's fucking crazy, isn't it? I see him. So someone sent a link. There's one up for $20,000. Well, the 2 tickets for $20,000. I can't look like. Few people sell them on eBay.
Jesus.
Matt, and they would have paid 100 quid for that, 100 euros in like 2019. What an investment. I bet there's some people buzzing that just bought it then purely on the off chance, just whatever. I think if I just had a regular ticket at face value, I'd be selling it.
One of my good friends, also a listener of the podcast, she knows who she is. Her sister, I don't know what she does, but she works for Just Eat at the moment, and they were doing like a promotion where you buy food, like you just make an order on Just Eat, and you might win some Euros tickets. And her job was to meet the people who won the tickets and give them the tickets. And it was quite sweet because she got to go watch a couple of games when people didn't go pick up their tickets. That was like the earlier stages. Now later stages, everyone picks them up, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, she was like, and she always asked people like, oh, you know, what did you order? Like, or like some people are like, oh, I knew about it and I've been ordering stuff like breakfast, lunch and dinner trying to win tickets. And then there's this one guy who's like, oh yeah, I was just a bit peckish and I ordered just like burger and chips from Burger King. And then I got an email saying I'd won Euros tickets.
Sick.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
Have you seen what they call Just Eat in Australia?
I have, but I can't remember what it is, but I know it's something mad, yeah.
Menu log.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, and they even have like the same song, you know, the Snoop Dogg one. And
did somebody say?
Menu log.
Yeah.
Like,
I've got real like deja vu. I think we spoke about this in person.
I think we have spoken about it in person.
Yeah,
we were talking about it together. But yeah, and I saw a clip from a podcast of these Australian guys, and they were saying, "Do you know what they call menu log in the UK?" And they're like, "What?" And they're like, "Just Eat," and they were like, "Nah, that's wrong, man." And they were like, Just Eat sounds so much better than menu log, like especially in the song as well. Menu log doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. I don't even really understand it.
It's just a log of menus.
It's a log of all different menus.
Yeah,
I suppose. It's definitely not as good a name.
No, definitely not.
I mean, it might be more descriptive, but Just Eat is like the sort of name you want. That's great.
It is a good branding, yeah. I wonder why they couldn't have it. I guess someone else had it.
Must be another one out there or something, or something too similar. Anyway,
let's go on with the footy.
Yeah, I've only had an ice cream for dinner, so let's stop talking about food. Now, mine's one of these things where I've no idea if it's going to be like fucking... God, where's my fucking Chrome gone? If this is going to be like me talking for 2 minutes or fucking an hour. But no, I think it's going to be reasonably brief. There's more to talk about, but like I say, you could go on forever with it. I didn't want to... Where the fuck is it? Right, there it is. Right. So I found like an article that talks about it, but I'm gonna sort of talk around it. So I sort of thought I'd have a look for something football themed, and I thought I'd look. And a few like websites came up, and there was this one that talked about like an odd sort of oddest matches or something, and this thing came up. So it was in 1945. Arsenal played a game against Dynamo Moscow.
Okay.
Moscow.
I mean, I think they say Moscow.
I think they do say Moscow.
Yeah.
So it was a friendly, and it was organised as sort of like a to strengthen relations. What do they call it? Sort of thing, like a.
Yeah, I know.
Almost like an exchange type thing to strengthen Anglo. Russian relations.
kind of like just a PR thing, really, to be like, so it can be on TV and be like, these guys aren't too bad.
Yeah, basically. So what think about this though, because you said about obviously Russia were on our side in the war, so the war was going on. But they weren't on our side in the First World War, were they? The Russians with.
Yeah, they were on our side both times, I think.
I swear they weren't.
Oh, maybe not. I don't know.
Didn't they switch sides during the middle of one of the wars?
No, wasn't that?
No, that was
Italy.
Yeah. I know. Russia. Sorry, I'm getting confused. Russia basically ended up sort of winning the war, didn't they? Because Hitler, they had some crazy amount of deaths.
Oh yeah, Russia. I think when you look at like the stats of how many people died, Russia fucking kills it. Well, no, they didn't kill everyone. Yeah. They all got killed.
Like they had loads, and he just kept chucking people at them, didn't they?
Yeah,
that's brutal. But anyway, it wasn't that much of a history podcast episode.
We need George.
Bleak World War deaths. Yeah, George would be all over this. He probably knows about this. Basically, the reason it goes down in one of the Strange Games history is it was just like mad foggy. So. So, like, for starters, it was kind of weird anyway. So, like, yeah, the reason for it was this sort of relationship thing. So they came over. At the time, in Europe, in like England, they didn't really have that good a view of like Eastern European football teams, and it was still fairly new in the rest of the world. It was still very much like the English game. Mm-hmm. So they came over to sort of like show that. So they'd organised like their kind of best team, and they came over and they played a few teams over in England. So they played like Chelsea. They played up to Scotland and played the Rangers. I think they beat them. It turns out like this Russian team were actually like really good. But then they also but they really wanted to play Arsenal. Like their main thing was they wanted to play Arsenal. because at the time Arsenal were like the biggest team, like the most well-known club and the best supposedly. So that was their whole thing. Like they really wanted to make sure they played Arsenal. So that's why when they got there, they all wanted it to be suspended. Like, and everyone was. They obviously all decided, "Oh, this is ridiculous." Like it was so much fog that you couldn't really see what was going on. But I guess because of that, the referee decided it would go on, just because I guess they really needed it to happen, kind of thing. So like the Russian government or I don't know whoever. People must have said, "No, we got to fucking do this. We come all the way
come
over
all that
here."
way, yeah.
Yeah, so they decided to crack on with it. The referee was a Russian guy, so as well as not being able to see anything, he also like it was one of the stipulations. The referee had to be Russian.
Okay, seems fair.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, I suppose because it was a friendly, it wasn't that big a deal, and they just wanted it to be that. But I guess alternatively, it would have been an English bloke, wouldn't it? I suppose. So they were just. But all the rest of the officials were English, and he didn't speak in English, and they didn't speak any Russian. So he also couldn't really communicate with them. So there was like this game where you couldn't see shit, and he couldn't really talk to them. So I imagine it was mad. And apparently, like because you couldn't see, it was like so thick. Shit happened like. They had a substitution at one point. Dynamo Moscow had a substitution, and the guy just like the one that was supposed to go off just didn't go off. He just kept playing. So they had at least 12 players, and there's like reports. It says, don't know how substantiated they were, but there's reports that English Arsenal fans reckon that they saw Russia with like 15 people on the pitch at one point. And then like, Arsenal also had a player sent off. And then he just came back on later on.
Absolute shithousery. Like.
Yeah, just proper, just like taking the piss. Still managed to score like, oh yeah, and that's the maddest bit. Towards the end of the fucking thing, towards the end of the game, the goalkeeper ran into the goalpost and knocked himself out. I think it was the Arsenal goalkeeper. And then, because they needed a goalkeeper, like a spectator jumped on and was just the goalkeeper. I don't know whether they did that without like the ref knowing or something. There's all these reports sort of say that. I don't know if it was like he just cracked on. And there was another report that said that the guy that jumped in was also just pissed as well.
This you know when you get those questions, if you could go back to any point in time, like in history, I'd love to go see the Egyptians building the pyramids and that. I just want to go back and watch this game. That sounds
go watch this mad
great.
Game. Yeah, it does sound jokes, doesn't it? Yeah, it was a bit more sort of what's the word? Detail to it to some bits, but that's kind of the main gist, really. I'm just trying to dig out one of the other articles I was looking at. There's some that are going like real. One that were really historical about it and spoke about all the reasons why the Anglo-Russian relationship was important at the time and everything like that. But I thought that's not that funny.
Nah.
But yeah, I mean that's kind of,
who won the game?
Oh yeah, so it was 4-3 in the end. For 4-3 loss for Arsenal. Yeah, so Dynamo Moscow won, and I think they won most of the games that they played while they were over here. So they came over and fucking pulled our pants down. They beat Scotland. I don't think they beat Chelsea. I think Chelsea managed to win. I think that might have been the first one they played. But
do you reckon it's all a plan? They saw like the weather patterns, and they'd figured it out, and we're going this week.
That's that. Yeah, that's our cup of tea.
Yeah.
Like, we were right. That's our wheelhouse.
And they just turn up with a ref and like up for a game, and no one understood what they were saying, and they just was like, drop the ball, like, let's go.
Yeah, right, yeah, okay. Let's go. Yeah,
we can't see.
I mean, and yeah, think about it. And then, 1945. So that was the other thing that said. So like they'd all kind of had to, Arsenal especially had to like borrow players from other teams and stuff like that and get players on loan. So they were both kind of doing it. They weren't like their normal teams.
Yeah.
So it was sort of like, it might as well have been them just playing England. But because loads of their players were also at war. They were still like tied up in the army, which is mad to think about, isn't it? You don't think about all that football players. I guess they weren't, would they have been professionals then? Probably not, were they? They were probably part-time.
Yeah,
amateurs,
I don't know what kind of decade it was where, you know, it became an actual profession where you could support yourself and make good money from. But yeah, for a good, up until if I was to guess, maybe like the 60s and 70s, I reckon. Like, I reckon even in the 50s, you weren't making a living off of playing football. Yeah. Probably when it started getting televised, right? Like,
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I reckon once it was on TV, and because all the money comes from sponsors and stuff, like it's all advertisements and sponsors and stuff. So.
Well, some dude just got like 9 months in prison or something, or maybe like 11 months in prison for having like one of those. You hear about like these dodgy sort of streaming services things where you can like pay a subscription to some geezer, and you basically just get access to his stuff.
I know people with that, yeah.
Yeah, and you normally put it on like an Amazon Fire Stick maybe or something, didn't you?
Yeah,
and it's just like this thing that they've programmed, I guess, like coded a little thing. It's quite clever, really, I suppose. But yeah, this bloke got like 11 months for being one of the guys, like the hosts of that.
Wow.
But what was interesting is he got like 6 or 7 months for that, but then they gave him 4 months just because like he didn't even own the thing that he was sharing out. He was watching a stream that wasn't his to begin with. He got like 4 months for that.
Wow.
They gave him 4 months for watching a stream that wasn't his, which is far out. 4 months in prison.
Yeah, I wonder if it's like a. Do you reckon everyone in that prison, like they kind of put people, I guess, with like similar crimes, like if you get done for like murder, you're in there with some people who have done some shit, right? And then I know they put like sexual criminals in like another section so they don't just get straight up murdered by everyone else. Do you reckon the people that get arrested for like tax dodging go to their own little tax dodging ward?
That's the thing, probably not. Probably then after that it's just like you'll have like high security for like the, like you said, like the murders and shit like that, but then just lower security will be like, well, you ain't so much a threat, but like you probably could have done GBH, you could be a drug dealer, you could have robbed people, like.
Imagine like sitting down, what was you in here for? Streaming Breaking Bad.
Yeah, that'd be so shit, wouldn't it?
I remember,
Fuck.
I don't know what the statute of limitations is on piracy, but when I really wanted to watch Breaking Bad, this is when I was like 16.
I'm not sure we have statute of limitations in the UK.
I don't know.
so this is like a story that you read, yeah?
Yeah. There was a story I read about me. It wasn't true. But no, it was when I was like 16, 17, and I wanted to watch Breaking Bad and didn't have a job or any money, and like my 1 month of Netflix had run out. And yeah, it was one of those services that someone I know had just put onto my laptop. Like, it was just a little app that I opened up, and you would click on, you just search for Breaking Bad, and then you'd click on it, and it would show you like 10 different options for different streaming services you could get it from. And you just click like choose the best, and it gives you the best one. And it worked really well. And but the one thing that didn't work is in Breaking Bad, most of it is English, but then there are a lot of scenes that are in Spanish when they go south of the border and deal with the Mexicans and stuff. Yeah. And there was no subtitles for like the translations. So I'd be watching it and I'm like, oh, fuck, this is a Mexico episode. And then go down and they would spend the whole episode talking. And I'm just watching it like knowing the odd word here and there. I'd be like, oh, he looks angry.
That's brilliant. That's probably serves you right. I've definitely done that before as well. And I'm watching something and it's like, is there supposed to be subtitles here? Like, because sometimes when it's just a small scene, you think, are they meant to just be speaking and I'm not meant to understand what they're saying? And then, like, other times you're like, oh, fuck, yeah. So I've done the same thing.
Yeah, I think that's what I thought first of all. I'm like, oh, like, you're not supposed to know what they say. They just say something in Spanish and then he comes over and kills him. But then...
There are, like, whole episodes, isn't there? Like, almost.
It took me longer than it should have. I'm like, okay, I'm figuring out what's going on because maybe they're talking in Spanish and then, the guy turns to the side and he's like, he wants this amount of money. And they're like, oh, no. And then they go and have a whole 2.5 minute conversation.
Pretty pivotal bits of the storyline as well, those bits, isn't it? Spoiler alert. But the bit where he's at the fucking pool and stuff like that, and that's all in Mexican, isn't it?
Yeah.
That wasn't really a spoiler. But...
Have you watched it? Spanish?
Yeah.
Mexican? Okay. I thought you hadn't watched it. I guess it was George that hadn't watched it. I knew.
Okay.
I knew one of us hadn't watched it.
Yeah, I watched it again recently during lockdown.
It's fucking good, isn't it?
Yeah, me and Gina watched it again. It is fucking incredible. Yeah, really good.
Back to the football story though. I like that. I like it when like you get like those crazy sort of like obviously, you know, people watch football every week, and most weeks like it'll be entertaining but nothing crazy, and then every now and again there'll be something that's just insane. I don't know. I love
that wouldn't happen now though, would it? For shit, like it would just be cancelled because you couldn't film it, you couldn't televise it, I suppose. Although there is some footage of this, so I'll send you links after. You can put it up on the screen. Yeah. There's like some little bits of footage.
Is it just like a grey scale? Like,
it's chaos. It's crazy.
That thick.
Oh, that's the other thing I remember reading about as well. So the reason why it was so foggy and like a particular thick type of fog is because it was like smog, really. It was like a high smog day. So it was like in the heart of London in 1945.
Yeah.
So it was like, like sort of like smog fog. And it like leaves like a sort of thick layer and stuff like that. It's awful. Yeah. So that's why you would never really get that kind of fog blocking stuff again.
Yeah. I'm flicking through the video now, and
yeah,
that is just you can't even see shit through half of it. You can see where they are,
crazy,
but you can't see. Like you could see if you was next to the goal, but there must have been times where you just lost your bearings and like.
Yeah, there's definitely bits you see. You couldn't even see a hand in front of your face with the goalkeeper running into the fucking goalpost.
Have you seen a video? It's probably like 10 years ago or something now, where it's Romford are playing Thurrock, and someone tries to clear the ball, and the wind catches the ball, that it actually comes and does like a 180, and then they score an own goal. So the defender goes to kick it out, and he's obviously kicking it down the opposition side, and it gets a lot of height on it, and it goes up, and then it just sort of like stops in midair, does a fucking U-turn in the air, the ball comes back over his head, and it bounces, and then because the wind's got so much speed behind it, the keeper completely like misjudges where it's, because it bounces and then it just goes way higher than he thought it was going to, and it goes into like it's got an own goal by kicking it the wrong way. Yeah, it's a there. I should be able to. I'll get it up on the screen now if it's not like a majorly copyrighted video or anything. But I'll send you the video as well so you can like watch that. But it is great, and there's clips as well of like you could just probably search like, you know, football in the snow or something, and there's so many times where been so, or when it's been so wet and rainy that the ground's all waterlogged and the ball doesn't even travel more than like 5 feet. Like you kick the ball and it's just dead.
Yeah, that's crazy. That I think I have seen this.
It's great, isn't it?
What the That's so weird.
Yeah, it was. Romford had the wind on their side on Tuesday, November 17th,
home to
2015, as they drew 1-1 at home to Thurrock.
Thurrock? Since when did we ever, like, Thurrock have a team?
Yeah, they're the 8th tier of English soccer.
Isthmian League. Division 1 North. The 8th.
Yeah. I knew they had a team, but I didn't know how low.
I didn't know Thurrock had a team. Yeah, I know there's Grays. I know there was Grays because there used to be Grays Athletic, and there was a stadium, but in Grays, funny enough. But I kind of lament its passing. Really, it was kind of cool having like a proper like stadium thing. And you used to go like watch a game with my dad on like Saturday. And I think they still play somewhere, but they play just over like, you know, like a field, like something really shit.
Yeah, a lot of time there's no point actually having a ground. Well, I mean, even when you look at this ground, it's like
it wasn't worth it. Yeah.
There's no stands. There's just a It's just a
it
little
wasn't
bit
worth
of cover.
The money. That wasn't worth the money and all that stuff. And there was some mad like sort of I'll just plug my laptop in. Some sort of like weird shit happened with the team. Like, it turned out the ground was worth. Or it might be that Thurrock team actually. It turns out the ground was worth loads of money all of a sudden for some reason. And then there was like arguments over who actually owned it. And then they sold it for like $1 million or so. I can't remember why. Maybe it had to get bought out for like land development or something. I might be entirely wrong about every detail about that story. It's great reporting.
That's fine. That's what we do here. Did you ever collect Panini sticker books when you was a kid?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Loved it. I actually went to like a swap meet at like the Thameside Theatre. Big up the Thameside Theatre. When I was younger, yeah. And it was one of the things, actually, I think it turned out later on, like I I got good friends with this guy in college. And it turned out like he organised that. You know, like some kid, and I just, you know, would have never known that, and didn't meet him again for like, you know, didn't meet him for like another 15 years or something.
Yeah.
Funny, isn't it? Small town, I guess.
Yeah, I went to one of those meetups. I don't know how old I was, like 10 or so, but when you're at that age where you're collecting you had the Match-Attax cards as well. I don't know how long those have been around, but
well, that's just a different brand.
Yeah, they're not stickers though. You don't stick them down. They're just cards that you put into like a folder.
Okay, like Pokemon cards.
Yeah, basically. And yeah, you get, obviously the players are rated. You know, have a score, and then you've got the shiny versions of like some of the best players, and then like a limited edition one. It'll be like black and gold card or whatever, holographic or something.
I bet there's few people wishing they'd done that this year now, because it'd probably be worth saying if England win it like at some point.
Yeah, I mean, they used to be so cheap as well. I remember they used to be you get a pack of 6 and it was 35p.
Mate, it's probably even less than that when I was doing it, wasn't it? It was probably
and then,
back in my days, half 2 penny,
and then
and a threepenny bit.
My younger brothers, a couple of years ago at least, they were collecting them, and I think it's like £1 for a pack now instead of 35p, and I think you might get more. I think you do get like 8 instead of 6, but it's still, the ratio is still way off how many cards you get. And my brother was telling me about how even him, he was like, he's like 13 now, so he would have been like 11 when he was telling me this. He was like, last year you used to get like he was telling me the odds of getting like a special one, and he goes, it used to be like 1 in every 5 packs would have a shiny or a special, and now it's like 1 in 8 packs. I watch these YouTubers do it, and even he was saying, he's like, but they still cost £1, but you get less shinies. Like, that's the way the world goes, mate.
That is the way. I remember, I think it was Lawford maybe even was collecting them again like recently. A few people did, maybe in the last World Cup, maybe. A few people got into doing it. It's like a proper like millennial adult thing to do, isn't it? Just like,
I wonder if I don't know how popular it is now, like amongst kids.
You just open digital packs, didn't you? On your FIFA. That is what they sort of do, isn't it? Isn't that like a
like on FIFA you get packs, and it's just you know you get a player that you can play with.
Is it kind of meant to be like a sticker almost? Is it like,
they're not really like collectibles, like they are meant to be used like in your team, but then you can sell them for like the in-game currency. So if you open a pack that only cost you a couple quid and you get a real good player, then you can sell that for millions, and then you can buy better players with that, but you can't make real money out of it.
Okay, yeah.
But this teacher in Colombia, so as I was reading through this story, apparently Panini stickers and sticker books are crazy popular throughout South America. So in like Colombia and Brazil and stuff, they go fucking mental for them. You know, you'll remember at school there'd be like half the kids maybe collected them, maybe even less than that, just the kids that are into football, but everyone loves the Paninis in South America. So if we've got any listeners from South America, say Uruguay maybe, send us a message and tell us how into Panini sticker books are you. But this teacher in Colombia confiscated this kid's World Cup 2014 stickers. So it's an old story from 2014. But yeah, this kid had these Panini sticker books with him at school. The teacher confiscated them, and then was caught later on sticking them into his own Panini sticker book.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So a Colombian teacher may have ruined a pupil's World Cup before a ball has even been kicked after reportedly stealing their Panini football stickers. In what must be every football man's schoolboy's worst nightmare, local reports claim the heartless teacher stole the sticker so he could complete his own album. The 13-year-old pupil in the city of Bucaramanga Central Columbia, reported the teacher after seeing him in the staff room put in stickers he had allegedly confiscated from the students who had been swapping them in class in a World Cup 2014 album.
It's like one of those things you'd say when you were in school that like you didn't really think was going to. Oh, he's using them for himself.
Yeah. According to the pupil, the teacher was confiscating various pupil stickers, arguing that a commercial market was being created that was distracting students from their academic work in the institution.
Imagine if he was like confiscating it. Actually, no. Yeah. You can have that one. I don't need to confiscate that one.
He's only confiscated a couple.
yeah.
So there's a little sub article here. It says cult phenomenon, and it says football fans around the world have collected and swapped Panini football stickers ever since the Italian company started printing the cards in before the 1970 World Cup in Mexico. Adults and children alike compete to fill glossy albums of the headshot stickers of teams' squads. Such is the demand for the cards that Panini last month moved to allay fears of a shortage of packets in host city Rio de Janeiro. And then there's another little report here at the bottom. It says, before the 2010 South Africa World Cup, thieves broke into a distribution centre in Sao Paulo and stole 135,000 packets of stickers. They were later found. And then
that can't be very profitable, can it? Like, if they're like 50p a pack, you know.
No, it's just about completing the book.
Oh, they just wanted to complete the book, right?
Yeah. You don't want to sell them. Or they weren't selling them, they were trading them. They went to one of those meetups.
Yeah. Swaps, I got so many doubles.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about football stickers in years.
I remember I went to one of those meetup things and it was at Wembley Stadium. It was just after Wembley Stadium had been rebuilt and it had just been opened.
Wow.
So I don't know, when would that have been, like 2008 or something?
I couldn't tell you.
Maybe even earlier. But yeah. I thought
that was a lot earlier than that.
Yeah, like 2005, 2006 or something.
Yeah, because Michael Jackson played the last gig in the old one. I think.
Okay.
So, but there was probably a gap, wasn't there?
Yeah.
I doubt they just.
I don't even know. You say that like I don't know off the top of my head what year Michael Jackson died either.
Michael Jackson died in 2009.
Oh, okay. But yeah, about that time I went there and I was so pissed off because you go there and you sort of fill out a bit of paper that says all the stickers that you need to complete your book, and I didn't need many. Like out of the whole book, maybe 20 or so, and then you go around to all these other kids and they're like, "Have you got this? Have you got this?" And they're like, "Yeah," and then they tell you who they need. Or there was just like a mass kind of thing. You could just put all of your doubles in. And then it was just a free for all. Kids just go up there and like, I need him, and they just grab him out of this big like bucket, chaos. Basically. Yeah. And I went there. I remember Razor Ruddock was there, like meeting kids and signing. He played for West Ham years ago.
Yeah, I recognise
Neil Ruddock.
Neil Ruddock. I was going to say that.
He's now like big fat fuck, and he's just like, you know, the most like Cockney guy.
Yeah.
You know, don't take no shit. Beer in hand kind of guy. And I wanted to, I, as a kid, just anyone who's like famous and a footballer, you're like, I want to meet him. But my dad was like, nah, the queue's too long. And it was pretty long, like, to be fair. Like, wouldn't have been worth it. So I walked around the back and I just poked him in the back. And I was like, all right, mate. And then he just turned around and went, fuck off. And told me to fuck off. And then I was like, oh, okay, walked away. But we were there for obviously like hours. Get home and I'm like flicking through my book, you know, all chuffed with myself that I've completed my book. And I'd missed one. There was one that I couldn't remember. I've actually forgotten a name, but I remember that player's name like stuck with me forever. I remember whenever I'd see him on TV. I remember he played for Portsmouth, but I remember seeing him being like, you fucking, I didn't get your sticker.
I used to have as well. It's probably before your time, but they might have still existed. There were like they were like football guys with big heads. So they were like little plastic guys, but they had really big, like disproportionately large heads.
I do remember those. Yeah, I remember having. It must have been like the 2004 Euros or something. I had like a Michael Owen one and David Beckham when he'd shaved his head. Yeah.
I think I had like the Euro '96 ones.
Mate, they used to pump out so much merchandise, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, didn't they? I mean, they probably still do. We just aren't looking for it.
Yeah. I remember having like little coins. They were like...
I remember the coins, yeah.
I don't know where you got them from. In like a newspaper or...
No, I feel like you got them from like the petrol garage or something weird. Like, if your dad got so much petrol, you'd get a coin. I don't know my mum also got petrol. It's something like that. And like family members would give them to me as well because they knew I collected them, Oh, we got another coin.
Yeah, wait, I'm looking at them now. England football coins. Yeah, and they're just like these silver coins. 1998 World Cup.
Yes.
See, these ones were before me because 98 I wasn't. But yeah, you've got like Paul Gascoigne, Paul Ince, Glenn Hoddle.
See, that was what the second it's coming home was. It was made for the 1996 Euros, and then they re-released it with no more years of hurt rather than 30 years of hurt. Even though we all now everyone still sings 30 years of hurt. We should really be singing no more years of hurt.
Yeah, because now it's been like 50 years.
It's like 55. yeah, it's like 55. I think it is.
Oh god,
it's mad, isn't it? No, yet. Woke up coins.
Sainsbury's Euro 2004 coins. They were from Sainsbury's. Oh
fucking hell! That's such a flashback. Sainsbury's, right? What's if you bought so much shit? You gotta.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll do a deep dive, an episode on. Yeah.
Oh man, that's instantly nostalgic looking at them. Yeah. Fucking hell.
You're looking through like the eBay listings.
Yeah. £100 for a full set.
The 98 ones keep coming up. I'm trying to look for. I know there was later ones than that.
Maybe they're the only ones that
people care about. Probably the first. Yeah, there's 2004 ones here, which was that was probably when I was 8 years old. So that's like the height of being like so into football as much as you can be. I feel.
Yeah. Gina sent me a link to an interesting video the other day. It was like a guy talking about. He did go on in the end to. I'm pretty sure he was talking about Illuminati, but I was quite into his initial point. It was saying how like it's like all these footballers being paid these mad money. I think he might have really been talking about American football as well, but still the point is the same. It's sort of like ever since like they've been doing it since like the Roman times. The emperor would be like, we don't want people thinking about the real shit that we're doing with the empire. Here, have some fucking Roman games. Have a fucking Colosseum. Just to entertain them and keep a distraction. Yeah, and it's the same with all these footballers paying them ridiculous amounts of money, and it's just like a distraction from. Don't watch us. Don't watch what we're doing in our meeting room with. That's how he ended it. He ended it something like 100. So you watch these few players, so you don't see the 150 people all sat in a room making all the decisions of the world. He says something like that, which I'm guessing he's talking about Illuminati. But
yeah, probably that's probably it.
Eating children. That's what they do, and that's all they do. Isn't
Eating children, yeah.
Drink children's
blood, sucking their
and
spinal fluid out, and keeping them young.
Do you know what's crazy, right? Though, just while we're talking about children's spinal fluid,
it
actually is a legitimate thing that foreskins from circumcised babies was used in a rejuvenating face cream.
Yeah, I've actually got that as like in my big list of curious topics.
So that's one of the things that ends up as like, and funnily enough, right, I saw it was like a triangle, like a thing someone released. It was like a triangle of like conspiracy theory, and it's like where what's real and what you should fucking like. And down the bottom it was like stuff that is real, and it was like, and then it goes up and up, and it's like mad shit that's 100% definitely not real, and you're a fucking mad idiot if you believe it. And at the top, one of those was face creams made from circumcised baby foreskins, and I was like, but that actually is fucking real.
Yeah, there's a article
and it's now been proven.
Huffington Post. Kate Beckinsale has revealed that she keeps her face looking youthful, which it does, using a foreskin facial. That's right.
Yeah.
She puts the cells of tiny penises on her face. The
Did
45-year-old
write this
actor
article?
posted on Instagram that she had been
George?
to see facialist to the stars.
what they call
Oh,
Facialist to the stars.
yeah, but there's no facialist to the. But it doesn't say see a face.
I've never heard of the phrase facialist
No,
either.
facialist to the stars. Georgia Louise Atelier in New York, and her trademark Hollywood EGF facial supposedly means epidermal growth factor.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's all stem
I guess it
cells and
works
shit,
because
innit?
she does look pretty good. She's got some good skin.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's stem cells. Stem cells are like just like mad good, aren't they? Like,
Yeah, I mean, that's all I know about them.
They're just super effective at fixing shit. But I think that's the idea. Is like stem cells, like really potent in cut off foreskins of babies.
Yeah. That's just the way of life, circle of life.
Yeah. I mean, it's waste product, I suppose.
Yeah. It seems that it isn't just foreskins women want to put on their faces, but also semen. Back in 2015, a British beauty blogger claimed that regular semen facials, which involved just smearing her male friends' ejaculate all over her face and letting it set into a firm mask were helping to cure her. Imagine having her as just a mate, like.
No, and that's it. That's just one of like a guy mates has convinced her of that. Or the whole thing just sounds like something that a guy would have just. The guy's probably written this article to just be like, hey, look, guess what? It fucking does work. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I don't know if it's friends plural or if that comma is saying because it's his ejaculate. Yeah, could be either. But
yeah, plural doesn't have a apostrophe.
Yeah, but if it's plural and they own the thing, a plural like a group of people owning something would still have an apostrophe, right?
In theory, it would be after the S.
Oh, okay. So it's one friend's ejaculate. Okay.
Yeah.
What an absolute bro. Just
I know,
helping out his friend.
Up,
He's like,
exactly.
yeah,
good guy.
I do this for my guy friends as well. Like, we all do it. I do it to myself.
Yeah, all the time. Look how good my skin is.
That is the best friend zoning you could ask for. Like, you know when you see those pictures that's like it'll be like a screenshot of texts and the guy's like, I love you so much, I love spending time with you, blah blah blah, and she's like, oh yeah, you're such a nice friend to me, and it's just like the guy getting like shot through the heart.
Yeah.
But this isn't too bad.
You're such a good friend to me, and he's there just like tugging one out.
The text is like, oh, thanks for letting me come on your face last night. She's like, oh, you're such a good friend. I want to be just friends, but you can still come on my face.
Brilliant.
I wonder if it goes directly on or like into her hand and then rub it in.
It's got to be direct. He's obviously told her it is the most potent if it goes direct on, and then you need to smear it.
You really need the impact of it to get into the pores.
Yeah, exactly. And it helps it be more effective as well if you actually, jack me off.
Yeah. All right, that is our football special. We're
happy football, everyone.
Yeah, happy football. Oh, mate, I hope we do win.
Yeah. Well, I hope we have one.
We have one. Now. Yeah, we're recording
by the time
this.
of listening.
What day is it?
Yeah.
Thursday. Games on Sunday. Are you watching it anyway? Have you got a pub booked or anything, or are you?
Well, I'm going to be away in Wales. It's Gina's birthday. So
are you going to be watching it on your phone in the van with some spotty 3G?
Yeah, I thought about that, but no, I think I am going to find a Welsh pub. I think now they ain't going to be like, they'll be kind of amused at me. I imagine, like, and just maybe rubbing it in a bit if we lose. But we ain't going to lose, are we? Because it's fucking coming home. All right. Let's
see you next week. Hopefully the three of us. Hopefully George will be back from his hospital trip.
Yeah, and hopefully he's enjoyed. I talk about penises.
Yeah.
To make him feel better. All right.
See ya.
Peace.